All right, this next bit of information is geared more towards those of you pursuing sport programs and that are taking this engagement course or covering this material with the hopes of developing a strong work ethic in your sport dog. Once we can call our dogs into engagement, and they take that opportunity when it comes, and they'll do it in a multitude of different environments, we can start adding different sport discipline specific cues to our engagement work in order to turn the dog on or put them in their working mentality. And this can vary depending on the discipline that you want to pursue. None of this information is really new. A lot of this stuff has been around and been being done by sport guys and girls, sport trainers for a long time. But it's simply taking all of the work that we've already done and the mentality that we've built and just adding one more visual cue for the dog that helps put them in the right mentality. So we're going to cycle through a few of these, and maybe it gives you an idea of how you can open up your sessions or how you can use equipment that's actually available to you in your discipline to help put your dog into a working mode or turn them on, so to speak. One thing I want to draw attention to really quickly that you can see, and it's probably apparent, is I don't have any rewards visibly on me. I have food in my pocket right here. So this is one of the steps that we'd taken previously, but beyond this, as we move forward, I'm going to try to keep rewards as invisible as possible. We want our dogs to work this picture. When we call them into engagement, we don't want them to come because they see we've got a big bait bag or a ball. We want them to come because we've asked them to come and because the opportunity to interact is going to be pleasing and is here, is available. Ready to go to work? Yeah? Yes. Good girl, Madewi. Good. You ready to do something? Ready to go to work? Yeah, ready to go? Yes, good girl. Good girl. Couche. For those of you that are pursuing an IPO program, consider charging an emotional response to your first saver, meaning when the first saver goes on, the dog activates. Asti. Yes, good girl. Yeah, Madewi. Good. You can also teach your dog to activate when you put a harness on, if it's useful or if you find yourself training in a harness a lot. Ready to go to work? Ready to go to work? Good. I see. Yes, good girl, squirrel. Nice job. In the ring sports, our dogs are required to work naked, or so without any equipment on. And often, we will walk our dogs down to the trial field with just a simple slip lead. You can always have a leash or collar, but just a simple slip lead. I will often use the removal of this leash or the equipment to cue my dog into engagement or to let them know that fun obedience is coming. Asi, Asi, good girl. Ready? Yes, good girl. Nice, Madewi. Good squirrels. And we can do the same thing with collars and leashes. So putting a collar on could be a signal to the dog that we're about to start training. Putting a leash or attaching a leash to a collar can do the same, or the removal of either can activate the dog or turn them on, put them in a working mentality. If you are a trainer that pursues like an AKC obedience program or obedience programs that allow you to put on or remove leashes, it might not be a bad idea to teach the dog when the leash goes on. Yes. That the work starts. Good, get that. Nice. Or the same with when the leash, ready to go to work? Ready to go to work? Good girl. Yes, good. Comes off. And one of my favorite cueing rituals that I like to do with any sport dog is to leave them in a brief sit stay while I take some distance, leaving them by themselves. And then when I return to them, that's when they turn on or switch on for the work. A couple of things we wanted to mention here at this point. Repetition is the key to gaining the conditioning that we want in order to capture the working mentality of the dog here. So the more that you practice this, applying a certain visual cue and then rewarding your dog after, the quicker they will start to charge or turn on or achieve that mental state that we want when we show them this visual cue. Another thing that bears mentioning, as you continue to practice this or rehearse this sequence or this ritual, you will no longer have to reward your dog afterwards. They will start to turn on as they see that visual picture. So as you put the collar on, as you put the harness on, they will start to activate
or achieve that mental state that we want without having to produce rewards anymore. So it does allow us to turn our dog on without necessarily rewarding them immediately. Another thing that we wanted to reiterate for the sport people is this is sort of a trade secret. This allows you to turn your dog on or put them in a mental state that you want simply by using equipment or a ritual that is available to you in trial. So those of you that are trying to approach trial with your sport dog, this gives you a leg up on the competition by rehearsing things like this that will be available to you on trial day.